The Wilson Mansion stood in Winter Park, an upscale neighborhood of Orlando. In early December, just before Christmas, the entrance was already adorned with elegant decorations, making it stand out even among the neighboring houses. Patricia Wilson, who had made her fortune in real estate, was known throughout the area for her refined taste. "Jennifer, that's not the right way to clean windows. I'm calling professional cleaners." Jennifer, who had been polishing the windows in the living room, paused for a moment at her mother's words. She was confident in the skills she'd developed through part-time work during college, but her mother would never acknowledge them. Since their father's passing, their mother's attitude had become more openly discriminatory toward both her and her sister Ashley. "Mom, I can do it perfectly. Just watch." When Jennifer finished polishing the window, winter sunlight flooded the room. The cleaned glass was so clear it seemed almost invisible. Yet her mother's expression remained clouded. "Oh, Ashley's home." The front door opened, and her sister strode in carrying the latest designer bag. Her flashy makeup and glossy black hair perfectly complemented her high-end boutique outfit. The pearl necklace swaying at her neck was a gift from their mother last month. "Mom, I have amazing news today." Ashley began excitedly. "The owner of the salon where I work wants me to become the manager." "Oh, that's wonderful." Patricia beamed. "You have such talent. Everyone recognizes your skills as a hairstylist. Remember how that movie actress was just raving about your work?" The living room walls were adorned with photos of Ashley working with celebrities. Meanwhile, Jennifer's college graduation photo had been relegated to a corner. Jennifer continued cleaning silently while listening to their conversation. She had her own dreams. She wanted to start her own cleaning company someday and provide eco-friendly cleaning services. She was already studying business management in her spare time and researching innovative cleaning techniques. But if she dared to speak of such dreams... "By the way, Jenny, are you still doing cleaning work?" Ashley looked at her sister with contempt. "Working like a maid at your age? One of my clients said they saw you cleaning. Honestly, it was embarrassing. I take pride in my cleaning work. I'm developing an environmentally friendly business model." "Jennifer," her mother cut her off sharply. "Stop talking about such fanciful things. They don't suit you. At your age, such daydreaming." Those words felt like a tight grip around her chest, but Jennifer suppressed her emotions. She was making steady progress toward independence while maintaining her $3,500 monthly job. She attended business seminars on weekends and was considering patent applications for new cleaning technologies. Her mother and sister might not understand. But she would forge her own path. As night fell, the family conversation continued endlessly. The focus was always on Ashley, her expensive purchases, her celebrity connections. Jennifer's presence was like that of thin air. That night, back in her apartment, she gazed at Orlando's nightscape through her window. Drawing on her experience at a major building maintenance company, she swore she would establish her own company someday. With this oath in her heart, she began preparing for tomorrow's work. Her relationship with her mother grew increasingly cold. Even at Christmas dinner, her mother's attention was focused solely on Ashley's glamorous life as a hairstylist. At family gatherings, her mother proudly recounted Ashley's success stories, while dismissing Jennifer with, "You just focus on your cleaning work," whenever she tried to speak. Still, she didn't give up. She continued studying business management on her days off and researching eco-friendly cleaning techniques. Though the rift with her mother and sister deepened, it only strengthened her resolve. Family gatherings became mere formalities, and her weekend visits grew less frequent. That night, an unusually cold rain fell on Orlando. Jennifer stopped by her mother's house to retrieve her forgotten phone charger. The Christmas decorations at the entrance glowed forlornly in the rain. The sight, which would normally appear beautiful, felt strangely lonely tonight. After parking her car, she could see light seeping from the living room. Though she hesitated to visit so late at night, she needed the charger for tomorrow's work. Her cleaning duties at the building maintenance company started early in the morning. Just as she was about to press the intercom, she heard her mother and sister's voices. "Now you can have the salon you've always wanted, Ashley." "Thank you, Mom." Such a large sum. Jennifer froze. Through the window, she saw her mother handing a check to her sister. Ashley was beaming. Her expression resembled that of a child receiving a Christmas present. $150,000. "I'm giving you half of my savings to make your dream come true. But I believe you'll definitely succeed." Those words froze Jennifer's body. The amount was 50 times what she had desperately saved for independence. Moreover, it was said to be half of her mother's savings. Half of the fortune her mother had built in real estate after their father's death was about to be given to her sister alone. Don't tell Jennifer. Such servant's work suits her anyway. At her mother's words, Ashley showed a contemptuous smile. That smile carved a deep wound in Jennifer's heart. Right. I won't tell her. But isn't this unfair? What are you saying? You have talent. There's no point investing in someone like Jennifer who chases foolish dreams. The sound of rain grew stronger. But her mother's cold words resonated even more powerfully. The warm light from the living room now felt ironically cold. She couldn't take it anymore. Jennifer opened the front door and stepped into the living room. Her footsteps on the expensive carpet echoed strangely loud. Her mother and Ashley's eyes widened in surprise. "Jenny." Ashley hurriedly hid the check. "What are you doing here at this hour?" "I heard everything," Jennifer's voice trembled. "While I've been working so hard to save money, this was happening." Rainwater dripped onto the carpet at her feet. But no one seemed to notice. "Jennifer," her mother's voice was cold. "This doesn't concern you." Her mother touched her expensive pearl necklace while looking at Jennifer as if she were a stranger. "Doesn't concern me? I'm your daughter too. If Dad were alive, this wouldn't." Her words trailed off. Their father's photograph seemed to watch silently from above the fireplace. "Cleaning work suits you. People without talent should live within their means." Her mother's words cut through Jennifer's heart like a knife. The chandelier's light made her mother's cruel expression even more stark. Ashley snickered. "Don't dream pointless dreams. You'll always be suited to being a cleaning lady." Her sister's voice carried a hatred she had never felt before. Memories of playing together as children crumbled like sand. Tears rolled down her cheeks. But they weren't tears of sadness. They were tears of anger, humiliation, and determination. The living room's luxurious furnishings suddenly felt meaningless. I understand. I want nothing more to do with this family. Those words carried the weight of farewell to her life thus far. Her mother's expensive pearl necklace caught the chandelier's light with a cold gleam. The living room, once a symbol of warm family ties, now felt as cold as an ice palace. Even the fireplace's flames couldn't warm her heart. Jennifer, wait. Neither her mother's voice nor Ashley's mockery reached her ears anymore. Everything had become meaningless noise, like the sound of distant rain. She ran through the rain, jumped into her car and pressed the accelerator. Her mother's house blurred in the rain through the rearview mirror. The streetlights appeared distorted through her tears. Back at her apartment, she collapsed on the floor in her soaking wet clothes. Her phone kept ringing. She continued ignoring calls from her mother. The screen already showed over 20 missed calls. A message arrived saying, "I'm thinking of your best interests." But she wouldn't be fooled by those words anymore. The next morning, when she woke up, her resolve was even stronger. She packed essential items in a suitcase, submitted her resignation to the company, withdrew all her savings, and signed a lease for a new apartment. She was prepared to settle all accounts with her previous life. She rejected all contact from her mother and sister. Deleted her social media accounts. She was determined to completely cut ties with her past life. She told her friends she would be out of touch for a while. It was a necessary decision to focus on her new life. Outside the window, the sun was rising. The beginning of a new day. And the beginning of a new life. The rain had stopped, and the street trees' leaves sparkled in the morning sun. "I'll definitely succeed and show them." Those words carried no hesitation anymore. Rather, they held a stronger conviction than she had ever felt before. The dream her family had denied. But it wasn't that her dream had no value. Rather, their denial had strengthened her resolve. Jennifer stood up and opened her laptop. There was so much to do to prepare for establishing her cleaning company. Creating a business plan, reviewing financial plans, confirming necessary permits and licenses. But there was no turning back now. This was the path she had chosen. There was a voicemail from her mother. "Jennifer, I'm thinking of your best interests." She deleted the message without listening to the end. She didn't need anyone's words anymore. She would forge her own path. She tucked away memories of her family deep in her heart. From that day, Jennifer's new life began. She honed her cleaning skills, accumulated business knowledge, and researched environmentally friendly cleaning methods. She worked late into the night and gave up her days off. Step by step, she climbed the stairs toward her dream. And in her eyes shone a light never seen before. It was a special radiance that only those who achieve their dreams possess, one that no one could extinguish. That radiance represented a quiet determination for the long battle ahead. One morning 5 years later, in a modern office building in Orlando's business district, the name Wilson Professional Cleaning Services proudly shone at the entrance. Jennifer was reviewing new employee training schedules in her top-floor office. In the training room equipped with the latest eco-friendly cleaning equipment, 50 employees were eagerly attending lectures. Having surpassed $2 million in annual revenue, The company's reputation as Orlando's premier cleaning service was unshakable. President, the reporter from Eco Business magazine is here. Looking up at her secretary's voice, she saw a female reporter in a suit. Your company's eco-friendly cleaning services are attracting attention nationwide. The interview proceeded in a pleasant atmosphere. They discussed the development of patented environmentally friendly cleaning products, how they secured contracts with major corporations, and plans for future franchise expansion. What's the secret to your success? Jennifer smiled quietly at that question. Never giving up. And staying true to your convictions. As the interview ended and she was about to prepare for the afternoon meeting, her secretary hurried in. President, the reception called. Your mother and sister are here. Jennifer's hand paused for a moment at those words. She had cut off all contact with her family for 5 years. No matter how much they pleaded, she had ignored all emails and phone calls. Should I send them in? With a deep sigh, Jennifer nodded. The two who entered her office had lost their former appearance. Her mother Patricia's hair was white, her shoulders slumped. She wore no expensive accessories. Ashley too had none of her flashy makeup or luxury brands, wearing a tired expression. Jennifer. Her mother's voice trembled. Finally. What do you want? Jennifer's voice was calm. From the office's large windows, Orlando's cityscape spread out below. The two who had once looked down on her now looked up at her from the opposite position. We want to apologize. Her mother forced out the words. Back then, we were wrong. I saw your article in the business magazine, Ashley spoke up. Patents for eco-friendly cleaning technology, Florida's Outstanding Entrepreneur Award. And? Jennifer maintained her composure as she looked at them. Her mother fell to her knees. Please forgive us. That figure showed no trace of the former dignified real estate queen. Ashley too bowed her head to the floor. Sis, I'm so sorry. What we did. A heavy silence fell over the office. The secretary awkwardly left the room. 5 years ago, you laughed at my dream and said, cleaning work suits you. Jennifer's voice resonated quietly. Now, my company has $2 million in annual revenue. We support the livelihoods of 50 employees. Jenny, we were wrong, Ashley's voice trembled. Back then, I was just jealous of your strength. Her mother said through tears, I was trapped by prejudice. I thought money was everything. But you were different. You knew the true value. Jennifer stood up and walked to the window. 5 years ago, she had sworn an oath looking down at this city, and that dream had certainly come true. But it was never about revenge. You know, she turned around. I succeeded because of you. The two looked up in surprise. That night, I made up my mind. Even if no one acknowledged me, I would stay true to my convictions. Take pride in cleaning work and provide better service. That led to today's success. Her mother and Ashley fell silent, seemingly at a loss for words. But this is just the beginning, Jennifer returned to her desk. Through franchise expansion, I'll spread eco-friendly cleaning services across the country. That's my new dream. Jennifer. As her mother began to speak, the secretary knocked. President, it's time for the contract meeting with the major hotel chain. I understand, Jennifer looked at the two. That's all for today. Wait. Ashley cried out. What should we? That's up to you, Jennifer answered calmly. I'll walk my own path. You find yours. Jennifer quietly watched as her mother and sister left the room. In her eyes was no longer anger or hatred. Only strong determination for the future ahead. That evening, Jennifer returned to the office after finishing the contract meeting. On her desk was an envelope. The sender was a law firm on Church Street. Opening it, she found a copy of the bankruptcy notice for Ashley's salon. No way. Jennifer gasped at the total debt amount listed in the documents. $300,000. As she read through the details, her face gradually clouded. Illegal investment schemes, investments in fictitious beauty franchises, unauthorized bulk purchases of beauty products. Everything had been a reckless gamble. She called her secretary and instructed her to investigate her mother and sister's current situation. Hours later, a detailed report was submitted. Her mother Patricia's luxury home was already up for sale. The real estate website showed urgent sale. The dignity of the former real estate queen was nowhere to be found. Her retirement funds were depleted, and she was considering applying for welfare. Ashley's salon had completely collapsed. The prime shopping mall location had already been taken over by another tenant. All 8 employees had been fired. The high-end interior had all gone to waste. President, her secretary called. Your mother is on the phone. Picking up the receiver, she heard her mother's tired voice. Jennifer, we need to talk. Could you spare some time tonight? In the office conference room. Outside the windows, Orlando's night view sparkled. When her mother and sister entered, they looked even more tired than in the morning. I know everything. Jennifer placed the bankruptcy notice on the table. Jenny. Ashley's voice trembled. Let me explain. Her story was a tragedy brought about by desire and arrogance. The salon's management had seemed successful. But from competing for status on social media, expensive purchases gradually escalated. She began spending over $10,000 monthly on shopping. I thought I could get it all back through investments, Ashley continued through tears. A friend introduced me to an investment opportunity, saying profits would come easily. The results were devastating. The $150,000 received from their mother disappeared in just 2 years. Pressed for additional investments, she took out more bank loans. Finally, she attempted a last-ditch effort with unauthorized beauty product purchases, but that too failed. The debt snowballed. I've lost everything too, her mother spoke in a strained voice. As guarantor for Ashley's debts, my savings, my house. The luxury home was already set for auction. The stocks kept for retirement had all been liquidated. Still, the debts couldn't be fully repaid. So, I have a request, her mother looked at Jennifer. Give Ashley another chance. I have a new business plan, Ashley said eagerly. This time, an organic product salon. With $200,000, I'm sure I can succeed. A heavy silence fell over the conference room. So you're asking me for a $200,000 loan? Jennifer's voice was calm. "Please, Jenny," Ashley begged through tears. "This time, I'll definitely see it through. Someone like you could surely spare that amount." Her mother's words trailed off. Jennifer slowly stood up. Looking out the window, memories of 5 years ago came flooding back. The treatment she received from these two on that rainy night. But now, her heart held no hatred. "I can't provide the loan." At those words, her mother and sister's expressions froze. "But Jenny, my company is responsible for the livelihoods of 50 employees. I can't make reckless investments." Ashley collapsed in tears. "I have nothing left. This was my last chance." "What you need isn't money," Jennifer looked at them. "It's the resolve to pull yourselves up by your own strength." "What do you mean?" her mother asked in a trembling voice. 5 years ago, I lost everything. Family bonds, my livelihood. But that made me stronger. I grabbed my dreams through my own power, not someone else's help." The conference room lights cast their shadows on the floor. "Ashley, you have skills in beauty care. That's talent no one can deny. But to make use of that talent, you need steady effort. Mom, you have experience in real estate. That knowledge can surely be put to use. Then what should we?" Ashley's voice trembled. "Forge your own path," Jennifer said quietly but firmly. "Just as I did." Her mother and Ashley stood up wordlessly. They had completely lost their former arrogance. Just before the door closed, her mother turned back. "Jennifer, back then. I'm so sorry." There was no response. The door closed quietly, leaving Jennifer alone in the conference room. She sighed deeply while gazing at the night view. Returning to her desk, new franchise expansion plans awaited. Tomorrow would bring new challenges. Her eyes held a light of strong determination. Half a year later, on a winter morning, Jennifer was being interviewed by Business Weekly. Wilson Professional Cleaning Services had surpassed $5 million in annual revenue. As a pioneer in eco-friendly cleaning services, it was attracting attention from across the country. "You recently established a cleaning technology vocational school, didn't you?" Jennifer smiled gently at the reporter's question. "Yes. Cleaning isn't just menial labor. It's a proud profession requiring specialized skills and knowledge." After the interview, her secretary delivered a letter. The sender was her mother, Patricia. Inside the envelope was a nursing home brochure. "I've decided to live here," read her mother's slightly shaky handwriting. "It's not luxurious, but it's enough for me. I've started volunteering here, using my real estate experience to help residents find housing." The letter continued with news about Ashley. She had started working as an employee at a small salon in another state. On weekends, she also did cleaning work part-time. "Your sister seems to have changed quite a bit," said the secretary. "Yes," Jennifer gazed out the window. "But I think that's a good thing." That night, at a supermarket she stopped by on her way home, she had an unexpected encounter. "Sis." Her eyes met Ashley's, who was standing in front of a shelf. Gone was her former flashy appearance, replaced by modest clothes and tied-back hair. Her cart contained several cleaning supplies. I'm heading to clean an office, Ashley said softly. Not your company, but cleaning work, I can't look down on it anymore. It really requires skill. Jennifer silently observed her sister. Her eyes no longer held arrogance, but showed an honest light. How's the salon work? The customers are happy. It's not a fancy salon, but I'm working hard to earn their trust through my skills. Ashley's expression showed a pride Jennifer had never seen before. This time, I'm moving forward one step at a time through my own efforts. As they parted, Ashley turned back. Sis, thank you for not lending me the money back then. On the weekend, Jennifer visited her mother's nursing home. The modest building was nothing compared to her former mansion. But her mother wore a peaceful expression as she chatted with the residents. Jennifer, her mother rushed over. I want to introduce everyone to my proud daughter. Among the residents were some former clients of Jennifer's company. Her mother proudly explained the excellence of their eco-friendly cleaning services. So you're Patricia's daughter, an elderly woman in a wheelchair smiled. Your mother shows us your articles every day. In her mother's room, an article about Jennifer's company from Forbes was carefully framed. Next to it was an old family photo of the three of them, the last one taken before their father passed away. If we could go back to those days. Her mother murmured, looking at the photo. But we can only correct our mistakes from here on. A spring breeze flowed pleasantly through the window. Back at her office, new business proposals were piled on Jennifer's desk. Plans for nationwide franchise expansion, construction of a new building for the cleaning technology school, and development of new eco-friendly cleaning products. President, it's time for the new employee interviews. The secretary called out. Thank you. As she stood up, Jennifer looked out the window. The dream she had sworn to achieve while looking down at this city 5 years ago had certainly come true. But that wasn't the end point. It was time to take another step toward a new dream. In the interview room, young people who held dreams in cleaning work were waiting. Their eyes held the same sparkle she once had. Tell me about your dream, Jennifer smiled at the first applicant. That night, even after the office lights went out, the city remained awake. The building windows quietly gleamed, waiting for a new dawn. As if watching over the beginning of someone else's new dream. A message arrived from her sister. Sis, would you like to have tea with Mom this Sunday? After hesitating to reply, Jennifer slowly typed. Yes, I'll come. The hatred was gone. What remained was only a quiet prayer for family members who had each begun walking their own paths. Tomorrow, someone else's dream will begin. And that dream will surely come true. As long as they believe in their efforts and continue believing in their own path. Jennifer turned off the last light. Countless stars shone in Orlando's night sky. They sparkled beautifully, powerfully, and gently, as if showing infinite possibilities.